Alright guys, welcome to the Emergency Backup Show. I'm Murphy.
And I'm Decaf. What's up, guys?
This is like a fucking flashback and shit. Wait,
yeah, I know it is like a flashback, man. That's why I was like, when I said some of the comments I put on Facebook earlier today, I was like, fuck, I said I haven't done a show in a long time. I'm like, I don't know why. I have the equipment. I have the time now because I'm stuck at home with the baby. Did I say stuck? I mean, I'm at home taking care of my daughter. But it's all good, man. It's just right now I just have 2 summer classes, so it's just a lot of work compiled in. But you know, I'm close. I know I'm like the 600-year student, but you know, hey, that's how it goes sometimes.
It's like you and Trench are both competing to be the last guy who walks across the line at the Boston Marathon. You know.
Hey man, I'm gonna do it before I get my walker though, baby. I'm gonna do it before I get my walker. That's my thing. But you know the thing I think of, and I'm sure you probably think of, is like I can see Vanessa going to her graduation, and she's then one of her friends going and say, "Oh, that's so nice to invite your grandparents to your graduation." Like, no, that's my mom and dad.
Oh, how cute. Your dad went and took a couple of classes with you and you guys graduated at the same time? No, he's been doing this shit since I was born.
I know, man. It's gonna be some shit though.
What are you getting a degree in? Like ethnic studies or like minority something or other? What are you getting a degree in?
Nah, just good old regular ass U.S. history, man. White man's history.
White man's history. That's it, exactly.
White man's history.
That's
and the thing is, man, is like I took the African American Studies class. This dude was really good. The teacher, he made me hate it. He made me hate white people for like 2 months. He was that good.
That would explain why you were ducking my phone calls and not returning any of my texts.
He made a lecture. Because some of his family traced back and some of his family members and stuff was lynched. And he gave like a 2-hour breakdown of it. And I tell you, it was like everyone in class was quiet. Everyone didn't say shit. So I was like, I went home. I was like, I saw a white dude cross the street. I was about to run his ass over. It's like, crack a motherfucker!
Well, as per usual, the discussion between you and I is going to start in one place and go completely somewhere different. Inevitably, we'll wind up you and I yelling that, no, I agree with you more, not you agree with me. I agree with you, goddammit. That's the funny thing about our conversations. We agree on so much stuff, but why we agree on it, we get mad at each other over it.
I know. It is true. But, I know it's like changing the subject again. I mean, I know our buddy Kim, man, he was like, man, I don't know what it is that Chris got some kind of, or Murphy got some kind of addiction to talk about Ron Paul.
You know me.
Still talking about that motherfucker?
I've been talking about Ron Paul for 4 years. You've been talking about
him for years, dude.
You know why? Because there are stupid people out there that actually believe some of the shit his supporters are saying. So.
He said, Ron Paul's out there. You about to be out there and shit be like, I like dancing in Jello naked and masturbating to Spider-Man comic books. There you go. Vote for me.
I'd vote for that. I'd vote for that shit. Speaking of, I put a picture up on Facebook. I put more comic books up on the wall. You like that back there? Can you see them?
Yeah. Are they worth money?
Some of them. Let's see. Back there, I've got Aliens vs. Predator #1, Spawn #1, Max #1. So I got a couple ones there. And then to my right here, I've got Captain America 454. It was the last issue of the Steve Rogers Captain America series. Batman #497, which is the actual breaking of the bat where Bane breaks his back. And then Infinity Gauntlet #1 and Deadpool Circle Chase '1. So I got a couple of nice ones.
Did you get those for Comic Oasis or they just from different places?
You know, they're from various places all over. I'm pretty sure I got the Deadpool and I think I got the Deadpool and the X-Men and the Spectacular Spider-Man. I got those from Comic Oasis, but the other ones I've picked up here and there over the years. Spawn #1, I just got the other day. I found a guy who used to own a comic book shop down in Puyallup here, and he sold me 3 issues of #1, 2 issues of #2, and then a bunch of other ones between 1 and 20 for $20. He sold them to me for $1.25 each, and I think I got a pretty good deal. So,
Man,
yeah.
that is really good. So he was just desperate to sell it, or he just didn't think it was worth it?
No, he used to own a store, and he just sells them periodically just to supplement his income. So he closed the comic book store about 10 years ago, he said. So
10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when you said that shit for 10 years, I guess you just wanted to fucking push it out, I guess.
Well, I guess he sells it on eBay, and he makes good money. You know, he makes decent money with it, but it's like, you know, he sells some stuff really cheap, and other stuff I'm sure he sells pretty expensive. So he likes to sell the stuff in bulk, though. I think he is really just trying to get rid of all of it. So, all right, are you ready to talk about what we actually want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, man, we'll go on there. I know we go on 45 tangents, but tangents are worth it.
So this, again, is going to be another case of where you and I are going to be pissed off at something for entirely separate reasons. Ultimately, we'll agree with each other, but yell about who's more agreeing with the other person. Roger Clemens is found not guilty on all charges that he obstructed to and lied to Congress in denying he used performance-enhancing drugs to extend his career as one of the most decorated pitchers in baseball history. So
I already know. That's the best thing when you have a good friend, man. So you've been talking to him for a long time. You already know what the other person is going to be the debate is about. If mine's going to be based on race and yours is going to be based on the use of steroids. I already know. Because I know you, because I defended Barry Bonds and his steroid use. And I know you were hot about me defending it. But, you know, but I would say this. I'll put it this way. When I see the verdict, right, and Roger Clemens, you know, the thing is, I forgot about the trial until I turned to ESPN. I guess that's the whole thing when you actually start watching the news. Like, I watch a lot of news, and then I watch a lot of ESPN. Mm-hmm. But it was like a combination this week where it was like a bam, bam. And we're going to talk about one later, which is the Obama being disrespected. Mm-hmm. But, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking, and I'm like, really? This motherfucker flat out did exactly the same shit Barry Bonds did. Went in court, said he never did steroids, did fucking steroids, but got the fuck off while him and Marion Jones got fucking convicted of the shit. How the fuck does that happen?
Okay, now hang on a second. So the difference between the two is that Barry Bonds was lying to it wasn't lying to Congress. It was lying under federal indictment it was for perjury charges. Wow, you're getting all blurry. Either you're getting blurry, or are you getting your camera drunk? What the hell? You got all blurry there. Barry Bonds' case is slightly different than Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens is just accused to lying to prosecutors or lying to Congress, whereas Barry Bonds lied to federal prosecutors for his trial. And it was more than, I think he had perjury, obstruction of justice, and a couple of other charges. But
Roger Clemens, he had like 6 charges against him.
There were 6 charges. Let me find them. I actually have them here. He was charged with 2 counts of perjury, 3 counts of making false statements, and 1 count of obstructing Congress. Which, honestly, if obstructing Congress was really a criminal offense, the entire GOP would be locked up right now. But so, okay. So we know I'm pissed off because, I mean, when you have needles full of the guy's DNA as evidence and video evidence, and you have FedEx receipts showing that shipments of HGH were delivered to this guy's house. But no, it was for my wife. What?
Roger Clemens have changed compared to his early career to the steroids now after he stopped playing baseball. He's all fucking fat and flabby and you can see the steroids is really didn't take his effect.
But listen to this. At age 41, okay, he went 18-4 and won his 7th Cy Young Award, and then the next year posted a career-best 1.87 ERA, and he has a total of 4,672 strikeouts. He's ranked 3rd in baseball's history. We've already seen that these guys can't do this naturally. So when you see guys like this, like Rafael Palmeiro, like Mark McGuire, like Barry Bonds, I'm sorry. When you're an athlete, you're not wine. You don't get better with age. It doesn't work that way.
I was sitting there because I was like, I know my opinion was different then. That was just probably for tons of jack jerking. But the thing is that I realized is that when they were talking about all the no-hitters this year, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, and I'm thinking, and people are on pace to get 47 to 50 home runs in a year is the high. At a time where 70 was like, 70, if you didn't get 70 home runs, you're not good enough. So, I mean, I can see the difference now that they cleared out the steroids, how hitting the gun down the shit.
Yep.
So steroids is
and more and more guys, more and more pitchers are going on the disabled list. They're not able to, because for people that don't know, human growth hormone and steroids, when you're a batter, they do help you. They increase your bat speed. They increase their results for eyesight, especially as you get older. They do physically increase your mass so you hit harder. But as a pitcher, where steroids come in handy and human growth hormone come in handy, is it repairs the strain and tears to muscles faster. So when you're a starting pitcher, you're pitching once every 5 days, but you're throwing 4 out of those 7 days. You put a lot of strain on those muscles. And if you're a reliever, like, say, Eric Gagne, who was one of my all-time favorites, when you're throwing, even if it's 2 innings, which is really unusual for most relievers, if you're throwing that, you're throwing 100, 101, 102 mile-an-hour pitches, you're tearing stuff. So that's where the steroids come in handy. And if you're an old guy who's pitching with an amazing ERA, that means you're keeping the ball, fast and low. You're not floating them in there, and guys like fucking A-Rod aren't getting that shit and hitting it like a meatball. Steroids are going to come in really handy. So, okay. So
my whole thing is like, I mean, okay, yeah, you may be federal court, Congress, whatever, but the case may be is that the man did lie. I mean, he lied about doing it, and then came out later, which I never really understood why he went all weepy sappy about admitting to doing steroids.
But he didn't admit to doing steroids. He always said that he never did steroids. He has always said that. He has always.
Sure? I don't remember an interview saying that he did do it.
No, you're thinking of A-Rod. You're thinking of A-Rod, who did admit to doing it.
I know A-Rod admitted. I thought Roger Clemens. Okay,
no, Clemens never admitted.
Because what was the whole thing? Because I know it's been a couple of years.
Okay, so
now I know that they saying that I guess supposedly he told his girlfriend or his wife or something like that, and told somebody else, and they
Andy Pettit, his teammate, says he overheard him. In fact, I have it right here. Former teammate Andy Pettit recalled a conversation in which Clemens supposedly admitted to using HGH, but Pettit said under cross-examination that there was only a 50-50 chance that he had misheard the conversation. So, when you've got guys like that and your former drug dealer and trainer comes out and says, no, I got him this stuff, and here is the needle that he used. I've saved this for years in a beer can in a FedEx box. But I mean, what it came down to is his former drug dealer and pusher, and the guy who physically injected him with the drugs, says no, he did it. When the report came out, what was the report? It was the Mitchell report. When the Mitchell report came out, and Clemens' name was in it, a lot of people are saying there was a lot of pressure on McNamee, who was the trainer at the time, who was Clemens' trainer and was a trainer for other guys, to name somebody. So he named Clemens because Clemens was the oldest of all of his clients, and there were young guys that still had lots of time left in the game, and if he were to roll over on them, he'd basically be fucking them, and they would ruin his life. So that's one of the things that Clemens' lawyers tagged on. And Clemens' lawyers also tagged on to the whole, the guy, McNamee really is a scumbag. I mean, there's not much about it. There's no way around it. And they created doubt with the witness because they really couldn't cause a lot of doubt in the fact the guy had the needles, had the DNA, had the FedEx labels from them being shipped to his house, and actually got Clemens' wife to claim the injections were for her.
Yeah, that's what it was. That gives a whole new meaning to collagen for your lips, I guess.
No shit, man.
They put some AGH in this. Put in your titties and titties.
Fucking enormous things. Clemens was invited to testify before the House Oversight Committee on Government Reform, or the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, where he publicly denied accusations in the Mitchell report, saying that he had used steroids. But a 2010 grand jury indicted him on 6 counts, and on the last time they put it to trial, it actually got a mistrial was caused because the prosecution showed a piece of video that was previously shown to be inadmissible. It's stupid gamesman shit like that that's allowing him to get rid of it. So, all right, so you and I both agree that this is bullshit, that Clemens should have been found guilty, and also there really is no chance he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame now.
You know what? I have a feeling, dude, that he's going to make it.
You think so?
I think he's going to make it.
He's eligible this fall, so we'll see if he makes it this fall. I highly doubt that will happen.
I think he's going to make it, and he's going to use the point that he is found not guilty.
Do you think he'll be the first ballot guy?
And I think what they're going to do is put him in there. I just have a feeling they're going to do it. I mean, it's like, you know, the thing is with Roger Clemens is that he is, I mean, honestly, a white person hero. Because, you know, and you know, brothers would be like, Roger Clemens, yeah, Roger Clemens, I mean, you're like, oh, all right, you know. But and I'm not going to deny, and I think just much like I'm going to say with Barry Bonds, I'll defend Roger Clemens in the fact that I think he was always a good pitcher. I never thought he was a bad pitcher.
No, he was a great pitcher.
But when he was on his decline, like Barry Bonds, and they both start shooting up the steroids, you know. So I won't deny that fact. You know, I'll be fair in that case. But I would say that if you're going to punish people for it as being perjurers, punish everybody for doing that shit. Don't you know, pick people and then Roger Clemens. But I'm telling you, I will be stunned if he does not make it into the Hall of Fame. I'll be really stunned they don't do it. You know, if they don't let it happen, then I will actually give him credit for doing what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? But if he does get in, then Barry Bonds better get in. Everybody else who did steroids,
Rafael Palmeiro, Mark Mullen,
they're all going.
Open the gates, baby. We'll open up a new asterisk-shaped wing of Cooperstown. It'll be great. So, okay, so this happened here. Barry Bonds, it was a 7-year investigation. He was really only convicted of 1 count of,
I know
what was it, obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
What do you think in comparison? Do you think Bonds got the shaft because he's a black man then? Tell me what you think.
I really do think he got the shaft because he's black. And I think the thing is that Roger Clemens, two people was held higher. And I think they want him to get into the Hall of Fame. But the thing is, it's like, if they convicted him, even if they didn't do all the charges, even if it was the same as Barry Bonds as far as like lying to Congress, if they convicted him on that, at least he'll be in the same ballpark where at least, you know, Barry Bonds can say, well, I got convicted of this, you know, for lying. This is my protest to make the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens can say, Roger Clemens can say, hey, you know, I'm not found not guilty, so why are you stopping me from making the Hall of Fame? You know what I'm saying? And it's very unfair because even on your record and everything, and you know both of them did steroids, and both of them lied, but only one's getting punished. And then the same thing with Marion Jones, she got punished. And then Lance Armstrong, he's had like 14 charges put against him for drug use, but they won't even take his ass to court because he's like the almighty.
Hold on. Now, new charges have been filed against.
I saw that.
Against Lance Armstrong. How do you think that's going to rack up? How do you think the charges against Lance Armstrong are going to shape?
I don't see him going to trial for it.
You don't think so? Because I don't know if he'll go to trial because they may not be able to prove anything criminal, but they may actually strip him of his Tour de France.
You think they're really going to do that?
They very well might. You know, the French are none too happy about this. They've never been happy about the fact that that Lance Armstrong, an American, a one-testicled American at that, had managed to beat out their best riders and the best riders in Europe continually. I think 7 times. Yeah, so I mean, you know, they're not happy about this. You really think it's going to get? He's just going to get overturned on? Or what do you think is going to happen? What do you think the eventual outcome for Lance Armstrong is going to be?
I think it's going to get overturned, man. I really don't see. It's like certain people they want to protect, and then certain people I think is going to get thrown to the wolves. And that's the thing is that I don't see Lance Armstrong being charged with that. I think he's going to get away with it. It's a sport that no one watches, but
Well, you say that, but that's the thing. Since Lance Armstrong started winning, I think viewership of it and participation, especially here in the States, has skyrocketed because there's an actual American team worth watching now. So, I mean, if they strip that all away, that'll definitely sour the American audience, and I don't think the Europeans give a damn about that. Your camera keeps changing focus. It's like it can't get a good focus point on you.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because of the laptop. Am I going in and out, or am I...
Your focus is, but it's fine. You keep rustling against something. I keep hearing it on your mic. I think the mic on your... Yeah, I don't think the mic on your headset's working. I think it's the mic on your laptop.
Yeah, it's probably not working as good.
Blurry.
I think it worked better in the other computer that kept shutting down.
Yeah.
Everything worked better on that computer. It's just the problem is it kept...
I love the fact that your laptop is drunker than you are. That's amazing. I'm out of beer.
But I mean, that's the thing. When I saw that, I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, this is some bullshit. I mean, in both cases, there's enough evidence to show you that both people did steroids. Mm-hmm. There's enough evidence to show that both of them lie to some kind of federal government, And so the whole thing is, it's like they're making like Roger Clemens is a hero. That's the thing that really pissed me off at ESPN. Like, he beat the charges.
He has been vindicated. Our hero shall stand another day.
No, the man was doing steroids and he lied about it.
He not only lied about it, he lied to Congress about it.
And that's the thing is they're making him out to be like he's a hero. Well, I saw constant shows where they just bash Barry Bonds, his neck. You see the side, you know what I'm saying? The Roger Clemens, he gets by and everyone's happy and shit. I was just watching ESPN. I was just all pissed off, and so that's why I did the Facebook comment. I was pissed. I was like, come on now. Now you want to make this man out to be a hero? Only one person. I forgot who was it that was saying that. Well, he's gonna be tarnished because of the whole aspect of it and the era he's from. I still think he's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
I think it was Buster Only that said that.
Yeah,
I think it was Buster. Well, I know Wally Matthews, who's a sports writer, says that he will not be voting for Roger Clemens this year, or at all, because he thinks he's tarnished, and I think that makes perfect sense. And, the media perception, I think you're right. I think a lot of people were like, our great white hero is vindicated, the evil government has gone away. And with Barry Bonds, it was, well, another nigga's got off free. It was like... It was like...
And the thing is, it was, what's his name? Let me see. Oh, they interviewed and got really pissed. Derek Jeter, and Jeter was like, "Well, you know what? This is. I'm glad he got off. This is in all the, of my era of people talking about steroids and stuff, and I hope people understand that the sport has changed." He gave this speech where I was like, "All right, so how much money did the Yankees give you more?"
I was like,
to go out there to vindicate this motherfucker.
I saw that exact same interview, and the first thing I said is, "Quick, someone look over at Bud Selig and see if his lips are moving." It's like we already know he's got his hand up there. Let's see if let's see if Bud Selig can drink a glass of water. And if Derek Jeter can do the alphabet, let's see if that works. It's like, fucking Christ, man.
So who's the worst sports commissioner real fast?
It's
Roger Goodell, Bud Selig, or David Stern?
I'm sorry, dude. As bad as David Stern handled things, as bad as Goodell handled things...
You can't get over Bud Selig.
It's gotta be... Come on, man. How are you gonna let an all-star game end in a tie? Come on! Man... And I used to be a fervent believer that interleague play was the worst decision that Bud Selig had ever made. But now that we live here in Seattle and the Dodgers were up here for 3 games, I'm like, all right, maybe Bud had something with this one. Although next time, someone better put fucking Vince Scully in an oxygen tent and bring his ass up here. Grab Michael Jackson's old bariatric tank from Neverland Ranch and ship Vin up here, man.
So what happened, man? How did Oklahoma City leave Seattle to go to the championship?
Dude, I know. Oh my God, you have no idea how. Like there was this graph posted on ESPN the other day. I think you probably saw it, where everybody in the world who wants the only places on the planet that don't want Oklahoma City to fucking win is like Washington and like and I think Miami are the only two places that don't want Oklahoma City to win. Everyone else was like, oh, okay, see. The rest of them are like, fuck that. You know, we're supposed to be getting a team. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's supposedly gonna. You've been to Seattle before, right?
No, man. I've always wanted to visit. It's in my top cities. There and London are like the two top cities I always want to visit.
Well, here in Washington and Seattle, Safeco and CenturyLink Field. Safeco is where the Mariners play, and CenturyLink is where the Seahawks and the Sounders play. They are literally right next door to each other. There is one street that goes up between, and that's it. They're right next door to each other. Man. So it's a nightmare because soccer, the Sounders play at roughly the same time as baseball is going on. So they have to schedule the games like 3 hours apart. Well, they want to add a basketball arena down there because apparently everyone thinks it's going to be Sacramento. Sacramento fell through with a new stadium, so
they're going to move to Seattle.
Yeah, but they want to put another fucking stadium right down there. It's like, that area is already fucked up. Please do not put any more shit down there. You know what? Put that shit in Everett. Fuck it. No one goes up to Everett anyway. Give them some fucking traffic. Put it up in Everett.
Matter of fact, why were they called the Supersonics?
Because of Seattle's history of flight. So Boeing is up here, you know, Lockheed Martin's up here, a lot of those. So Supersonics, you know, that would be why.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Because I always, you know, that's one of those things where I just never... understood the name. I was like, the Supersonics, why? Okay, so that's...
You know what I'm always puzzled at? How the fuck does Portland maintain a basketball team and we can't have one? Fucking Portland? Have you ever been to Portland?
Right. I don't know how Portland got a team to start with. And that's I think that team is the only sports team there, right?
Yeah, it's the only team there. Well, I think there's probably like 5 billion ultimate frisbee teams, but I think there's like a bong rip team and probably a couple of like intramural no-touch football team. Portland is what happened.
How did Portland maintain a fucking team over there?
Here's the deal what happened. In the 90s, all the hippies in Seattle said, this shit's getting too commercial for us. Fuck it, we're moving south. And they all went to Portland. Which is fine. That is, you know, we've got our fair share of tree huggers up here, but we don't have nearly as many fucking hippies as they have in Portland. But, by the way, speaking of hippies, we just had the Northwest Folk Fest up here. There was a gang shooting at Hippie Fest.
What?
Yeah,
hippie gangs. Hippie gangs. Ain't no fucking hippie gangs.
Dude, they weren't hippie gangs. There was a fucking shooting across the street, but there was a fucking shooting at the Hippie Fest, and that's awesome.